better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Anyone that thinks Crawford has a chance is a complete idiot. They have weight classes for a reason.
Too big? Too skilled?
Way too big, way too skilled.
He win? Can he beat him? Can he beat Canelo? Is his skill so much that he's able to bridge the weight classes?
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for his mind. If you say Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo.
Experts are weighing in on the potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford clash, with Israel Madrimov suggesting that if it goes the distance, Crawford's precision, ring IQ, and adaptability could tilt the fight in his favor. At the same time, Madrimov admits it's a tough call, pointing to Canelo's natural size and wealth of experience, making the matchup feel like a genuine 50-50 contest.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
He has more experience.
Talk first surfaced about a Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford showdown. Most analysts pegged Canelo as the heavy favorite, citing his proven success across higher weight classes, while Crawford had only just moved beyond welterweight. Showbiz, the adult, echoed that early sentiment, labeling the matchup lopsided on paper. But once training clips and camp photos began circulating, the narrative shifted. Crawford appeared stronger, sharper, and unexpectedly comfortable at the new weight, proving his skill set translated seamlessly. What initially looked like a physical mismatch has evolved into a far more compelling contest, highlighting how quickly boxing storylines can flip once preparation meets expectations.
Grounds to stand on. Now, the other second point that I think is becoming a fact is this. This fight was initially kind of a one-sided credited fight where if Terence Crawford beats Saul Canelo Alvarez, he's on a Mount Rushmore. If Saul Canelo Alvarez beats Bud Crawford, it's kind of like, of course. But now the Bud Buddies has gone across all of social media and attacked social media so impactfully, like a plague, that now it's starting to give more value if Saul Canelo Alvarez wins. And let me tell you what I mean. You cannot tell everybody they're haters and they're stupid for thinking Canelo wins and say, hey, y'all gonna find out come September 13th how great Bud Crawford is. And you speak Crawford up, you know, you say, yeah, you said the same thing about Spence and Crawford that beat all these. Ah! You just don't know. You know, you have all these all-time great fighters saying that Crawford wins. So come September 14th, if Saul Canelo Alvarez has beaten Crawford or destroyed him, you can't take it back now. You're going to have to be like, Saul Canelo Alvarez is on Mount Rushmore, right? I mean, you can't go this heavy all over social media and in which social media controls media. So it's everything. You can't flood social media like this and just wave after wave talk about how Bud is going to whoop Canelo and forget boots and all the preparation, all that stuff. And then if Canelo wins, you don't have the same energy.
Rolly Romero sides with those who insist weight cannot be overlooked in boxing. He emphasizes that divisions exist for fairness and safety, and believes Terence Crawford is taking a major gamble by venturing so far past his natural weight. History shows even elite fighters often stumble when moving up, and Romero sees Crawford as no different. He cautions that Crawford's dominance at 147 doesn't guarantee success at 168. Particularly against a proven powerhouse like Canelo Alvarez, who has long reigned over the super middleweight division.
We got Canelo, we got Terence Crawford. That's going to happen in the fall. It's going to happen here in Sin City, your hometown. How do you feel about that matchup?
Anyone that thinks Crawford has a chance is a complete idiot. They have weight classes for a reason.
Too big? Too skilled?
Way too big, way too skilled. And this isn't a skill matchup. It has nothing to do with skill.
Celebrated for his ring IQ and remarkable longevity, surprised many by giving Terence Crawford an 85% chance to defeat Canelo Alvarez. He praised Crawford's patience, adaptability, and switch-hitting skills, arguing that his tactical awareness could blunt Canelo's trademark counters and pressure. Drawing from his own career, Hopkins noted that physical disadvantages can be overcome by fighters who remain disciplined and stick to their strategy, framing Crawford's move up as a chance to redefine greatness rather than an uphill climb. By contrast, David Benavidez took a more pragmatic stance, favoring Canelo and pointing to the natural size gap as the deciding
Does he win? Can he beat him? Can he beat Canelo? Is his skill so much that he's able to bridge the weight classes?
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for as my. If you say Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo. Why? He's not going in there to prove something, which will fall into Canelo's hand. He would love for him to prove something. That means you will stay there and try to prove something. But to go in there and to let him know, establish that from the first round, that I belong without showing that I am tough. I earned my position to be here. And I want to show you, even though you're being stubborn, that your time not only have came, but it's gone. He ain't going to surrender and say, I'll slow it up, so I'm going to act like it. No, he has to be shown. And it has to be early.
David Benavidez points out that Canelo Alvarez has spent his entire career operating at higher weights, fully acclimated to facing dangerous opposition at 168. Terence Crawford, by contrast, is venturing into uncharted territory. To Benavidez, the gap between a natural super middleweight and a welterweight moving up several divisions is simply too wide. He stresses this isn't a knock on Crawford's talent, but a reminder of how crucial comfort and familiarity are at the elite level advantages. Canelo has built over years of dominance in the heavier divisions.
What is his prediction for the fight? So he finally gives it, and it is the following. He said that Terence Crawford's power is real, and he's felt his power is real, but those body shots from Canelo Alvarez are different. And he said he expects Terence Crawford to get knocked out somewhere around the 10th or the 11th round. Doesn't see it going the distance. And as a result, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people think that Errol Spence Jr. is just hating. And I got to tell you, if he was just hating, he would have the right to do it. Why is that? Because that is exactly what Terence Crawford has been doing to him ever since that fight got done. Terence Crawford was asked who his best wins were, and he didn't mention Errol Spence Jr. He mentioned Victor Postol. So I guess, hey, man, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So Errol is not holding back his opinion on the fight and says Canelo's going to knock out Terence Crawford. Now, let's look at it for a second and think, is that a realistic prediction? Well, it is. Just like many people picked Terence Crawford to beat Errol Spence Jr. and the entire time that they said that, I was like, yep, he could absolutely get that done. I take Errol in that fight, but I would not be surprised. I'm not writing out that Terence Crawford could win that fight.